My name is Ellie, and I think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Welcome to this video if you feel like you are not good enough. I am going to send love to this part of yourself and bring awareness to you and what you can do to move forward towards the direction of the things that you want, towards the direction of your own well-being in regards to not feeling good enough. Please excuse me as I am in the middle of overcoming a sickness. I'm going through a great deal of healing myself right now, and my vibration went really low as I had to enter into some depths of some pain. And although this is a good thing and I am moving forward towards the direction of my own well-being and what I want, I had to, and I'm currently having to go back and forth dipping into these denser, darker energies in order to heal them. And a lot of times in spirituality, we want to bypass this. We want to go right towards the feeling good, and we are trying to go right from the problem to solution. But sometimes we really need to really delve into becoming completely aware of what's happening and to really feeling and being present with our pain and what's causing that pain before we can go on to a solution. So that's currently what I'm doing, and that is what I'm going to talk about today on how we are going to bring awareness to this part of ourself, this fragment of ourself that does not feel good enough. This happens to be my biggest wound. And I love being vulnerable, and I really truly believe that we can never be too vulnerable as humans. We are all humans, so we all experience the same type of emotions, the same type of pain to different degrees in different parts of our life, but we are all experiencing these things. And I don't feel bad about how I feel. I know that I'm a human, and I love this human part of myself. A lot of people, when they get into the spiritual world, they get lost in the perspective beyond this physical realm. So yes, we are all one on the deepest level, but also we are these fragments of ourselves. I am Ellie and you are you, and we are separate. We are also the same, but we are also separate. It's not an and or, it's an and. So my intention through this channel is to really bring our feet to the ground here and not lose sight of this physical realm that we live in. Also considering the bigger, broader picture of oneness and connection with everything, but not losing sight of the and, because that's when we really can get into trouble. So my biggest wound is the wound of insignificance, the wound of not feeling like I am good enough or worthy enough of someone's attention, of someone connecting to me, and therefore creating emotional safety for me. The reason that I have this particular wound and that you may have this particular wound is because my parents, my mother and my father, could not connect to me. They could not provide attunement to me and really connect to me emotionally. And they couldn't do this not because they didn't want to, but because they couldn't. They had so much of their own pain, and they were lost in their own pain and their own stories and their own perspectives. And I have no blame for my parents. I completely understand why they would feel exactly how they did, and they were valid to feel the way they did. Unfortunately, though, as a small child, being on the recipient end of parents who were so disconnected from me because of their own tremendous pain, really valid, important pain, being on the recipient end of that and not feeling parents who connected to me gave me the perception as a child that the reason that that happened was because I wasn't important enough. I wasn't significant enough. I wasn't good enough to receive that connection. So, thanks to Teal Swan and her teachings, I now understand fully that we have fragments of ourselves. So, there is a fragment of me that doesn't feel good enough, not important, not significant. And in order to bring healing and integrate this part of myself, this not good enough part of myself, I have to treat it as such, as a fragment, as a separate part of myself. This person, this fragment, right now is screaming for my attention. And if you are watching this video, that fragment of you is also screaming for your attention. To stop being pushed away as bad. I don't want to feel not good enough. Well, that's not true. So you have to go away. That's not going to work for me. I need to be positive, and I need to, because I'm the creator of my own world, this isn't going to work for me. You have to go away. This is only going to cause this to continue to affect every single part of your life. This fragment of me currently is affecting every single part of my life. And I'm ready now, and I hope you're ready now to integrate this part of myself. So how do we do that? First, we recognize this is a fragment of ourselves, a different part of ourselves. And instead of pushing that part of ourselves away, we're going to draw closer to it. So I'm going to, and I am currently talking to that fragment of myself as if it was a different person, because it is a fragment of me, a separate part of me, which I want to integrate into wholeness. That's how you heal. I am going to talk to it, and I am going to understand the difference between feelings being valid and true. So when I'm going in, I'm talking to this fragment of myself, and I happen to be talking to myself currently now as a child, because this is when this wound took place for me. And so I'm going and I'm talking to this little girl, and I'm validating her feelings, that you don't feel good enough, that you feel insignificant, and that's why you're not receiving this connection. Those are very valid feelings, I'm telling her. I understand why you would feel like that. Your feelings are valid, and they are also not true. I can understand why you would feel that way because of what happened, but also that is not true. You are good enough. I'm not trying to change her. I'm accepting her, that fragment of myself, just the way it is. I'm not pushing her away. I'm allowing her to be there. And I'm just talking to her. I'm giving her love and understanding, and most importantly, the connection that I needed, that I did not get as a child. I, myself now, am going back in through memories, through going into a meditative state. You don't have to even, I do this, in fragmented times, like 5-minute time frames. I'll be studying, and I'll take 5 minutes off of studying to connect with her and say, hi, how are you doing? And validate her feelings and connect with her. You could do it for short periods of time, long periods of time, but by going back and connecting to this part of yourself that doesn't feel good enough, that doesn't feel worthy of connection, not good enough to receive connection, and you will connect with that part of yourself. It's not to say that outside connection is not important, it very much is. But in order to really get that external connection that you need, I'm not even going to say want, that you need, we first need to connect with that part of ourself. We need to connect with ourself. And we do that by spending time with ourselves. We do that by how we would connect with any other person in our external world, by spending time with that person, by thinking loving thoughts to that person, by taking loving actions to that person, by listening to that person, by not pushing that person away. So we're going to go in and we're going to spend time with that fragment of ourself. We're going to recognize it. We're going to identify it. We're going to stop pushing it away, and we are going to connect to it. We're going to validate our feelings, but also recognize the difference between our feelings being valid and our feelings being true. That is so important. So this is the journey that I'm on, and this is the journey that you can be on. This is the path to getting that outside connection that we need, that we absolutely need. And for some of us who have a deep wound of not being good enough for connection, not being significant enough to be paid attention to be attuned to be connected to, we first must connect with this part of ourselves. We must connect. with that part of ourselves in love. Get to know that person, examine that person, spend time with that person, pour love into that person and understanding into that person. And this is the start and this is the process of integrating that part of ourself within us towards wholeness. So I wish you so much luck on your journey. I love connecting with you here. I love being vulnerable and sharing with you. And I wish you so much healing. I believe in you. And I believe if you're still watching this video, you absolutely have all the power that you need to achieve anything you wish to achieve. You are powerful. And remember, although your feelings are valid, that doesn't mean that those feelings are true. Thank you. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and comment below. I'll connect with you soon. Thank you.